Vanessa's picked it up over the top by Zura, and that is the hooter. That is the end of the match. That is the end of the tournament. And Sri Lanka are victorious. It has been a fantastic competition. Sri Lanka have been more than Tarjini Sivalingam, but I tell you what, she has been absolutely superb. She has kept her 93% shot score, and with a percentage like that, how on earth are you going to combat?
Well, that was the moment the Sri Lankan netball team was crowned Asian champions at the Asian Netball Championship 2018. Well, we have the details coming up shortly, but before that, let's take a look at the headlines.
Marine Environment Protection Authority to take legal action against the oil leak in Muthurajavela. There is no fuel shortage in the country, says CPC chairman. High temperatures reported from several areas across the country. An attempt to highlight an artificial power deficit in a bid to purchase power from the private sector. Protest against the garbage disposing site in Aravakkaru, Puttalam. 119th Samata Sevena Udagammana project declared open. Sri Lanka wins the Asian Netball Championship 2018.
Now the stories in detail. The Marine Environment Authority says legal action will be taken against the oil spill in seas of Muthurajavela due to a leak in the pipeline attached to the buoy. The Sri Lanka Navy said the fuel will be removed together with the Department of Coast Conservation by reducing environmental pollution as much as possible.
It has been identified that the cause of the oil leak is due to the breakdown of a pipe that was unloading the fuel that had arrived in the island from UAE. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation said the situation was brought back to normal yesterday. However, the fuel that had leaked into the sea could be seen in Dikovita, Thaldiavatta and Usvatakeyava.
I was talking to the person who was working with me last night. He said that he could smell the oil in the area. We thought someone was trying to steal oil. That is when we checked. We are fishermen and this is a big problem. This will destroy the fish. I think the oil stain will remain there for at least 2 months. We request the authorities to clean this as soon as possible.
Estimation is 3 to 4 days to clean up the coastal area. There are various rumors going around saying there will be a shortage of petrol and diesel. The cause this situation is a fuel oil that is used for power plants, and we have sufficient stocks for the power plants with us, so therefore there is no need to panic. We will have fuel in the country for all the consumers.
We will inform the locals living in surrounding areas if they can use the area. Until then, we request the residents not to use the area. The toxic substances in the fuel may cause damages to the coral reefs and the marine life. We have already made arrangements to take legal action against the responsible company. This is a very old pipeline. We are making plans to construct a new one. My main concern was the damage this may cause to the sea, but we were able to minimize the damage. Some pipelines are 60 to 70 years old. We have called for tenders and requested for funds. It is very important to reconstruct these pipelines. There were several instances where the pipelines leaked. The pipelines were established 6 years ago. They have brought down new pipelines, but they have delayed the construction. Actions were not taken even after the workers pointed out that there were leaks. They applied grease over the used pipelines even when there were leakages. As a trade union, it is our duty to inform these shortcomings to the country.
The Sri Lanka netball team was able to become champions at the 2018 Asian Netball Championship today. Sri Lanka beat host Singapore at the final match this morning.
This is the grand finals of the M1 Asian Netball Championship 2018 between Sri Lanka and your team, Singapore.
Sri Lanka were undefeated when they went into the final today. The first round saw both teams performing at an exceptional level, levelling the score at 16 goals each. However, Sri Lanka were the better performers at the second round with 16 goals to 10. The Sri Lankans were able to win the third and the fourth rounds as well, with 18-12 and 19-12 goals respectively.
Sure, and my heart is already racing and the game's only just started. I mean, they obviously got the...
And Sri Lanka are victorious. It has been a fantastic competition. Sri Lanka have been more than Tarjini Sivalingam, but I tell you what.
The Sri Lanka team won a championship after 9 years. This is the 5th time that Sri Lanka won the championship.
As an opposition.
I am extremely happy. My team has performed well to win this today. I am very proud we came here with the intention of winning this tournament. We are happy that we were able to do it. I am happy about my team. I think a lot of people think when they're out in the sun and when they have a lot of money and when they train a lot of teams that they become good coaches. That is not what should happen. They have to update the knowledge. They have to understand what the players require. When you understand and coach the team properly, you can win easily. This was a mess and now it is a good start to come into the correct track.
Sri Lanka qualified to take part in the Netball World Cup in Liverpool, England, which will be held next year. Every victory is the result of hard work, dedication, commitment and sacrifice. The Sri Lankan netball team also underwent many hardships. The victory of these Sri Lankan daughters who were able to beat very powerful Asian teams after practicing for a short span of 7 months should be celebrated. It is clear to all that sports in our country is in turmoil. Under these conditions, this victory achieved by a team that represents many regions of the country under a good captaincy and a good coach is a factor to be proud of. This is a prime example of courage. It is a result of a difficult journey of strength. It is a victory for the nation. The Sri Lankan people commend the national netball team, its coach, management and all those who supported this victory. We at News First salute the Sri Lankan netball team. As the saying goes, victory has 100 fathers and defeat is an orphan. There will certainly be politicians who are ready to garland and welcome the netball team when they come back home.
Locals of Aruwakkaruputlam carried out a protest against the proposed garbage disposal site today. Minister of Megapolis and Western Development Patali Champika Ranawaka made an observation tour in the area this morning before the protest.
Minister of Megapolis and Western Development Patali Champika Ranawaka made an observation tour to the proposed garbage disposal site this morning and the media was not invited to cover the event. The Aruwakkaru landfill project was launched on the 1st of February this year and it has been planned to end the project in November 2019. The estimated value of the project is $101 million and the construction work will be done through the China Harbour Engineering Company. Meanwhile, the locals who came to the area expressed their views against the project. Protesters of Karathiu and Terakkuliya areas have entered the construction site and also have damaged its properties.
They say the garbage is being dumped in Aruwakkaru. This is not Aruwakkaru, this is Terakkuliya. All the garbage that is dumped here ultimately ends up in the lagoon. They said the garbage will be dumped in a location that already exists. This is a new location. They have started digging these lands. They are not doing what they have told. This is a place where fishermen work. On the other side, there is a Norochole coal power plant. On this side, they are cutting limestones. Vibrations occurring from these activities have led the fish to leave the area. When you dump garbage, it will go through the lagoon to Putlam, and then it will get contaminated with the water which is producing salt.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Megapolis and Western Development, Partali Champika Ranavaka, expressed his views about the protest at a meeting in Vanathavilluwa Divisional Secretariat's office.
There won't be groundwater contamination here. This garbage will be brought here after being compressed in Kalaniya, so the water in the garbage is reduced by 80%. We will properly dispose electronic waste and computers. Just because we have issues here doesn't mean we shouldn't carry out the project. We have to find a solution. This is not only the garbage from Colombo. This is the money that belongs to the people and the government. So anyone can use this.
Up next is our award-winning investigative journalism segment, Action TV.
Action TV reported on an email that makes it evident that the CEB engineers want to operate without heeding to the Committee on Public Enterprise of Parliament, which has the authority to review both the CEB as well as its regulator, the Public Utilities Commission. Through the email that has been sent to the members of the CEB Engineers Union, the Joint Secretary questions as to who shared these internal official documents with the public, COPE, PUCSL and the enemies. Action TV reiterated the importance of revealing who the CEB Engineers Union refers to as enemies in this email. While some in the CEB Engineers Union are operating with the notion that there are enemy forces acting against them due to the actions of a few others who think otherwise, the details of the activities of its members are revealed to the public. This Twitter thread is one such example. It is clear that they are trying to employ some tactic to hamper the government from formulating the long-term generation plan until 2020. Tomorrow, the National Economic Council is to consider a request made by the Secretary to the Ministry of Power and Renewable Energy to reach an agreement with 3 private power plants to purchase 174 megawatts of power from the private sector, claiming that there is a shortage of power in the country. Action TV on the 19th reported that the Secretary to the Ministry had sent this letter to the President's Secretary on the 6th of August. Action TV revealed that the Secretary to the Ministry of Power and Renewable Energy, Dr. Suren Bhattagoda, is trying to mislead the Economic Council at the very outset of this letter. The letter seeks the approval of the PUCSL to extend the power purchase agreement of 3 power plants. However, this letter is being sent in a backdrop where the agreement for a power plant in Ambilipitia, which is one of the 3 that is mentioned in the letter, has already been extended. This factor is not brought to the attention of the Economic Council. Since the Public Utilities Commission has not granted its approval for the extension of the said agreement, it has to be considered as an illegal agreement. The Economic Council is about to take up this illegal agreement for discussion tomorrow and would in return give validity to it. When taking a look at the report sent to COPE by the Auditor General, it is clear that the agreement with the power plant in Ambilipitia should be cancelled and that there is no requirement for agreements with the other 2 plants that are mentioned in this letter. The Auditor General in his report says that the CEB since 2015 has purchased power when there is a surplus of power in the country. The report goes on to say that there is a power surplus of 1,800 megawatts in the year 2018 and not a deficit of power. Tomorrow, the Secretary to the Ministry of Power and Renewable Energy, Dr. Suren Bhattagoda, would attempt to exaggerate the artificial power deficit that the CEB Engineers Union has created before the Economic Council of the country. When there is a capacity surplus of 1,800 megawatts in the country, how can 174 megawatts of power be purchased? Should it be allowed? Over to the National Economic Council.
The Sri Lanka Army says that it strongly condemns criticisms attributing to the government, Ministry of Defence and the command of the army, which are intending to serve own personal political agendas.
In a statement to clarify the status quo of Sri Lanka Army's security preparedness, the Army says in recent times, some retired Army officers have alleged that they are not content with the battle alertness of the Army at present. The Army says it is not only ethically wrong for someone to review the status quo of the Army and its battlefield preparedness from outside, after having gone on retirement years ago, but it also does question someone's moral right to hurl such allegations. During the 9-year-long period since Sri Lanka's civil war, 4 experienced commanders who have maintained the highest level of battle preparedness have commanded the army while introducing various training models and exercises to that effect, which are being more refinedly continued to date. In the statement, Sri Lanka Army appeals intelligent people of this country, regardless of rhetorics of such opportunists, to repose the confidence in the army which has defended our country in the past and is committed to do so in future too as a professional outfit, taking all measures to prevent any resurgence of warfare.
The 119th Udagamana constructed under the Samata 7 Udagamana project was vested with the public today. The event was held under the patronage of Deputy Leader of the United National Party and the Minister of Housing and Construction, Sajith Premadasa.
The village named as Sajivanapura consists of 25 houses. The minister presented land deeds at the event.
Recently, we saw opposition going on a protest march demanding for the change of government. I would like to ask the people of this country, are you planning on putting a stop to the building of houses and distributing land by bringing in the flower bud? Do you want to stop the benefits enjoyed by the people through the programs such as Gamperaliya, Grama Shakti and Enterprise Sri Lanka? Is this why you ask for a change? Do you wish for a future full of alcohol for your children just like those who came to Colombo behaved recently? Dear friends, the flower bud party has become a joke today and they're lost. I would tell you the wish of the people in this area. Wait and watch. By the year 2020, the aspirations of the general public will be fulfilled.
United National Party Balamandala meeting of Kandy was held today under the patronage of party leader Ranil Wickramasinghe.
Ministers Lakshman Kiriyala and Akila Viraj Karyavasam were also present at the meeting.
Who would want to start the second term in the 4th year when the person has 6 years to stay in office? Either he is crazy or he cannot govern a nation. Mahinda Rajapaksa is not crazy, but he couldn't run a government. That is why he let go. Some said, do not take this over. It is like drinking a cup of poison, they said. But we came forward and took it over. We came into power, we took over the government. Although we couldn't create any job opportunities and couldn't complete some work, we were able to complete a lot of things.
Prime Minister also spoke about the next provincial election.
Now how many have been selected? Have they selected 10? Select good ones for the provincial election. People who can actually win. Within these 2 to 3 weeks, people will come and make statements in the electorates. When we conclude these activities, we will bring the good people to Colombo.
Former General Secretary of the United National Party, Tisatha Naik, expressed these views following an event in Mawatagama, Kurunegala.
According to my view, the UNP needs a new facelift. The UNP did not see any major change for 24 years from 1994. As a result, people are moving away from the party. Therefore, it is important to see whether the people are ready to continue like this for another 12 years. At a backdrop where the party failed to gain the leadership in the country for 24 years, the party cannot move forward without changes. Therefore, I think by delaying the implementation of this change, they are doing a great injustice to the party and the future leaders.
The Gamada teams travelling across the country for 13 days have identified several major issues that the people face. The people say though the authorities are keen to obtain power, they do not have the same enthusiasm to solve the problems of the people.
Gamada Door-to-Door Initiative.
The people who live in this village are desperately in need of support. However, they have been ignored by authorities over the years. These villages have fled as a result of the war and had returned in 2008. They have not yet received the Samurdhi benefit that they received before they fled. They are facing a severe financial crisis as a result. The town is located about 30 kilometers away and there is only bus operating through the area. The lack of clean drinking water is another issue that these residents face. There are 45 identified kidney patients in the village and 4 people have passed away recently as a result of the disease. Our teams crossed over to the Navodegama village in Kirimatitana over the bridge that had been constructed under the Gamada 1000 Projects initiative. There are about 120 families living in this village and they say the authorities are not looking into the problems that they face. The construction of the community hall in the area has been stopped halfway and the garbage is not collected systematically. This is the maternal clinic, where over 200 pregnant mothers arrive to receive medication. The clinic lacks facilities and the mothers have to keep standing for hours at the clinic. The dilapidated state of the preschool in Halmila village in Ranchamadama has put the lives of the children who are receiving education there under risk. The Gamma team was invited to lay the foundation stone of the Vasanta Mandapaya at the Sri Sithi Vinayagar Kovil in Kinne. The Gamma team then went to Alanke and Ichativu villages and spoke to its residents. They are still awaiting the return of their loved ones who were lost during the war. A majority of the residents are day labourers and they too are facing issues due to the lack of clean drinking water. They also spoke about how they do not receive their Samurdhi benefits. The residents of this area charge that there are high levels of graphite mixed in the water sources in the area. They have informed this to the authorities. They face severe issues when they have to find water for consumption. There are over 1,500 kidney patients in 39 villages around Vilgamua. 6 people have died as a result. They do not have water for cultivation as well. The Gamma team met with people in the village that are facing issues as a result of wild elephants. The villagers say the teachers who come into the village school get themselves transferred because the school lacks basic facilities. They also do not have water for cultivation.
Come at the door-to-door initiative.
TNA parliamentarian M.A. Sumantiran says that the country needs a new constitution that delegates power. He made these views at a seminar to create awareness on the 20th Amendment to the Constitution held in Aglavatta today.
The constitution is where the willingness of different communities of the country to live as one is declared. There is no constitution that mentions about the willingness of the Tamil community. We say that we are ready now. Our people are ready to live as one through this constitution. We are ready to come to an agreement. If we find a solution to this issue of the Tamil community, we will be able to move forward as one country.
Sri Lankan national Salya Pereira, wanted for drug trafficking, has been arrested in Bangkok 4 years after he first fled to Thailand. The Police Narcotic Bureau said Salya Pereira's arrest was informed to Sri Lanka by Interpol.
The suspect, identified as Salya Pereira, was arrested in Sri Lanka in 2013 along with 30 kilograms of heroin. The Police Narcotics Bureau noted that there is a case against him at the Negombo Magistrates Court. Pereira had fled the country in the year 2013, resulting in a red notice being issued against him. Accordingly, Thailand police has arrested the suspect and informed Sri Lankan police with regard to the arrest. Police noted that discussions are underway in a diplomatic level to bring the suspect back to Sri Lanka.
The Department of Meteorology says that the temperature in many areas in the island has exceeded 35 degrees Celsius. According to the Met Department, districts of Munragala, Vavuniya, Anuradhapura and Polonnaruwa have reported high temperatures.
An increase in the overall temperature of 4 Celsius has been recorded from Hambantota during the past 24 hours as of 8:30 this morning. According to the Department of Meteorology, Munragala reported a temperature of 36.3 Celsius, Vavuniya 36.2, Anuradhapura 35.4, Polonnaruwa 35.2, while the temperature in Nuwara was reported at 22.5 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, an increase in the overall temperature of 3 Celsius has been recorded in the Jaffna, Badulla, Kurunegala, Vavuniya and Nuwara during the past 24 hours as of 8:30 this morning. Meanwhile, Newsfirst cameras captured the manner in which water leakage is taking place in the Kurunegala town at a time a dry weather condition is persisting over the island. People in the area charge that water has been leaking for over a week in this manner from a pipeline near the public market in Kurunegala that comes under the purview of the Kurunegala Water Supply and Drainage Board. Meanwhile, the pipe near the Gatwana junction has been leaking for the past 6 months.
We inform them to come and fix it, but no one repairs it and doesn't allow anyone else to do it.
The RDA comes and lays carpet on the road, but they do not do anything about what has been removed.
Krav Maga is a martial art considered to be a close-contact self-defense system with realistic fight training. The second largest Krav Maga workshop in Sri Lanka was held in Colombo today.
The workshop, which saw the participation of about 200 people, was conducted by Satish Thirimunige and Kunchana Ranasinghe. The workshop was organized by Krav Maga Kapap Lanka International.
කාර්යයට අපි ඇත්තටම ජීවිත රක්ෂණ ආවරණයක් ලබාගෙන තියෙනවා වගේ දෙයක්.
This is similar to obtaining a life insurance. We do not know when we will have to face a threat in life. We are ordinary citizens. We cannot be carrying a weapon with us at all times. What can we do if we face a threat? What can we do in self-defense? That is the main point in Krav Maga. This is an art that anyone can learn.
And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of Weekend Primetime News. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Arundhati Mudarnayaka. Good night.